This lesson is for selecting objects and components and ways to do a more efficient selection. Alright, so let me turn on screencast. Alright, so now you'll be able to see my keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so keyboard shortcut T for tool simply hides your toolbar right here, and you get different toolbars, of course, once you're in object mode or in edit mode. Okay, you notice here the top part of the toolbar, when you go edit mode and object mode, they don't change right here. So these are basically pinned tools here that you'll be able to use in both edit mode and object mode. So the first one right here is your select tool. So this is the default tool in Blender. You can select simply by clicking on the object. You can hold down shift and click to add to your selection, shift click to decrease your selection. If you look at all the tools, they have this triangle at the bottom. That means that it's a multi-tool. So if you click and hold, you'll see more. Okay, so same thing with scale right here. You can scale a cage or you can scale the object, so on and so forth. And then for annotation, okay, same thing when I go to edit mode, multiple tools, okay, as opposed to a single one without the triangle. All right, so let's take a look at the what we have. So we have the tweak, select box, select circle, and then lasso. These are probably familiar to you guys if you've used any graphic programs before. Okay, so let's do the W here. If you press and hold down W, it just cycles through those. Okay, so let's just talk about the more common ones. So the first one is your tweak selection. Okay, don't worry about that for now. Okay, because it's just a select and active the item. Select box or rectangle. Okay, select circle and select lasso. So if you have the select box, that means whenever you drag a rectangle or a box like so, anything that's in that area will get selected. Same thing here. If I'm not careful, you see the light right here. If I select a rectangle like so, it selects both of that. Okay. The keyboard shortcut to select everything in your scene is A. It's an apple. If you hit double A, it deselects everything. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so if you need to, let's say, just select all your mesh objects here, you can simply angle it where you can do a selection where it doesn't involve, let's say, the light. Okay, so you just got to be careful how you angle your camera, because if you do a selection drag like so, that involves hitting any parts of any object, they get part of the selection. So just kind of be wary of that one. Okay, the next selection is select circle. So each time you select and drag along that, think of it like a paint select. Okay, so once you hit that center point right there, you get the selection. Okay, so in a way, this is a little bit more specific. So let's say I want to select this till I select its main cursor or center. They don't get selected. And I'm holding down the mouse like so. So I'm clicking and drag without letting go. Okay, so very similar to kind of like painting, but you gotta hit that center. All right, next, lasso selection. So let me deselect first by clicking double A. So this is basically a lasso selection. You draw out your lasso in a way, and that's your selection. So pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's what these things are. Keep in mind also that whenever you hit any of your transform tools here, these are also select tools, but they go into the clicking mode. Okay, or box selection mode. I'm sorry, put it there, or whatever last selection mode you have. So keep that in mind. because you can select still and move tool is active at the same time. Okay, so they're dual tools in a way. It allows you to select and use the transform tool, but this is annoying you and it's always here. Okay, so just simply go back to your selection tool, then you won't see that. Okay, so for beginners, I highly recommend you use the transform tools here, so you get a visual aid on the direction also with the axis, red, blue, and green. It points to where you're at. I mean, where you're supposed to go. Okay. All right, let's go back to our selection here. So that pretty much covers an object selection. So let's go now to edit mode, okay, or sub-object selection. So I'm gonna let's start with this cylinder here. I'm gonna click on edit mode. Okay, so let's select let's say faces, because they're bigger and they're easier for you guys to visualize. So we have our edit modes here. First one is vertex or points. Second one is line or edge, and then of course we have our face or surface. Okay, keyboard shortcut with this, if you have an alphanumeric keyboard, okay, with a numpad, and you didn't change your numpad to emulate, I mean, you didn't change Blender's preference to emulate a numpad, this is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so as you can see, it toggles through those. All right, so let's first select face, and then if I select this one, it's pretty much straightforward. Okay, wherever you click, you get that selection. If you hold down Shift and click, it adds to the selection. However, sometimes you want to select all of this all the way and you don't want to kind of waste time. Okay, just kind of clicking them one at a time and shift clicking them. So there's several ways to do that. Okay, first one, probably the easiest one, is simply select a bunch like so, but anything that you don't see will not get selected. So that's why we have the transparency toggle here, or transparency or X-ray mode, you know, right here. So if you select this, you get to see through it. Okay, so if you do a selection like so, okay, but you need to select using the dots right here. Oh, let me drag a rectangle, and voila, there you go. So it selects it all the way, so it makes it easier for that one. Okay, let me turn up X-ray. Let me show you another way. So if you select your one of your faces here, and you want it to select all the way around, hold down Option on a Mac or Alt in Windows, and if you hit this vertical line right here, hold down Alt and then left click, okay, it selects it all the way around. Okay, let me do that again. I'm going to just select one, click here along the vertical line. All right, so let's try and do that in using the sphere right here. Go to edit mode. Okay, so I'm also in face mode. So let me select. I'm going to hold down Alt or Option, and I'm going to click the vertical line. So you can see it selected that. What happens is when you select along that selection the horizontal line, you get a vertical selection. So keep that in mind. It does the opposite on your selection. If you click a vertical line or an edge, you get a horizontal selection all the way, assuming there's no interruption on this polygon faces. And if I do the vertical, okay, if I want to select this and that, so I'll just click Alt, Shift, and then click the line. So Alt, Shift, or Shift, Alt, okay, would add to the selection or deselect, depending on which one you click. All right, so Shift is the same, it adds to your selection. Alt does that loop selection. All right, so let's try our monkey head right here. Go to edit mode, and when you go to, let's say, select circle, so you can see anything that you kind of paint on top gets selected. Pretty straightforward. All right, let's go to our object mode here, select this. I'm going to go to edit mode by hitting tab. I'm going to go to point mode and go to my select box. Okay, I'm going to select the top. So I'm going to teach you how to grow and decrease your selection. This one doesn't increase in selection. So if you start with a single point like this and increase your selection, it'll be kind of spread out evenly. Okay, so to do that, you hold down Control and then hit the plus key on the numpad. Then you can grow your selection. minus will do the opposite. And this is with a single point, okay? If I have that selection right there and I have another selection right here, watch what happens. Control plus. It starts growing to where it's at. So you're not going to have an even selection. However, it will basically spread the selection from there. And if you click hitting plus, you will eventually select the entire thing. All right, so control plus and minus on the numpad to decrease or increase your selection. Okay, and finally, if I select here and Alt click this vertical one or the horizontal one, okay, it's different here because we are only using points. It's not the same as selecting faces, but watch this one. I'm going to select all that. And if I want to invert my selection, it's Control I to invert the selection. So basically it selects the opposite, what's not selected. Control I for invert. And that ends the lesson.